Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Wilhelm Scream, and welcome back to the channel for more Destiny 2 news and intel. Today, once again, is Friday, so we have our Friday weekly update. XUR has returned, as well as Trials of Osiris. So I'm going to give you a rundown on those two things, as well as all the other farms, glitches, cheeses that you can use heading into the weekend. If you haven't had a chance to play very much this week, there were some things of note, and some very interesting free items that you probably want to pick up while you can. We got Tinnitus Bat joining me in the tower, as well as Scoot today, so make sure to leave a hashtag their names in the comment section down below. That's their actual gamer tags, not the hashtag their names in the comment section down below for another entry into the next giveaway for this video. Remember, you can also follow me on Instagram. It'll be linked in the description box down below, as well as liking, commenting, and subscribing to the YouTube channel will all give you entries into the next giveaway. For this video, we do one every 1,000 subscribers, so you never want to miss out. When we reach 100,000 subscribers on the channel, we'll be giving away a new console or video card if you play on PC. You can also leave a comment down below on any of your thoughts on any of the topics of discussion in today's video. I'll also give you another entry, and I will respond to all questions and comments. So if there's anything you are interested in knowing a little bit more detail about, or there's just anything of interest that you would like to add to any of the topics that we discuss, please leave a comment down below. Of course, I will give you another entry into the next giveaway for this video, or you can stick around till the end of the video for the secret hashtag you can leave in the comment section for another entry into the next giveaway. For XUR today, we have a Cold Heart Catalyst, which I've heard some rumors this is actually doing really well at the moment. There's been few videos I've seen swirling around of people doing GMs using this particular catalyst, though I don't know if it's unique to this person being just god level. I'm talking about esoteric, of course, but I will do a little bit more research. Might be worth picking up regardless if you don't have it. We have the Traveler's Chosen Catalyst, which I don't know when the last time I saw this. This has been a while since the last time this was sold, if ever. So this is one of those catalysts that maybe it's been sold once, if ever at all. So take note of that if you have a Traveler's Chosen and you don't have the catalyst for it. We have a Graviton Forfeit for the Hunters with a 67 roll. Very good roll, I would say, for overall builds. I don't know if this is the go-to meta at the moment. I could imagine it being more of a PvP-focused exotic, but certainly a good build, high stat roll. So pick it up if you don't have it. We have the Heart of Innermost Light with a 65 roll. Actually, also not a bad stat distribution and bad stat roll overall. 65 is high enough, I would say, to build into, and this is sort of uniform across the board, so you could do some interesting things with this. And this is a very, very good exotic for PvP. So if you're looking to maybe up your PvP game a little bit heading into Trials this weekend, this might be a worthy pickup. And then for the Warlocks, we have the Nezarec Sin with a 66 roll. Unfortunately, 28 mobility is completely lost on the Warlocks. It's interesting to see that much in one stat, though. But Void Kills increase ability regen. Yeah, nothing as far as how this is distributed really helps with the overall ability of this exotic. So yeah, probably can skip it unless you really don't have it and are just trying to round out your collections. We have exotic ciphers for sale this week, so pick them up if you're trying to turn any of your exotic armor into an artifice piece of gear. We also have another exotic cipher over on the second page in the XUR quest. You can also get one at the rank 16 rewards, so remember to rank up XUR. You can also get, I believe, red borders and enhanced weapons from the XUR Engrams, so keep that in mind. Over on our More Strange Offers page, we have our Favor of the Nine buff, which remember, if it is stacked 3 times, you can stack this over the course of 3 weeks. You can continually stack it if you buy it every week. This will give you a ton of strange coins, even from running the most basic of activities like a selected strike from the Cosmodrome. Not actually a strike through the Vanguard playlist, but an actual strike just from the selected directory screen, something like the Devil's Lair, you can complete in under 5 minutes. Also remember to pick it up if you plan on playing any Trials of Osiris this weekend. We have 2 enhancement prisms for 17 strange coins. We have 5 enhancement cores for 7 strange coins. I'm going to pick that up. It's a worthy deal. We have 13 enhancement cores for 17 strange coins. Not bad as well. We have 17,000 glimmer for 5 strange coins and 33,000 glimmer for 7 strange coins as well. And then we have raid banners. You can get 11 raid banners for 11 strange coins. Also, not a bad deal. Remember, you can also, if you're looking to just spend 1 strange coin at a time, get raid banners and other items, sometimes blue armor, unfortunately, from the strange gift offers. Over on our strange gear offers page, we have a Hawkmoon with rangefinder and polymer grip. This is not a great roll on what is a very good PvP focused exotic at the moment. This hand cannon I didn't use for a very long time. I've talked about this in previous videos, and then I picked up a very mid-tier roll on a Hawkmoon and just played normal PvP, some Iron Banner with it, and I did incredibly well. So a good roll on a Hawkmoon, which there was a really good one last week with opening shot, can really help you out quite a bit if you're a novice in PvP, or if you just don't use hand cannons that much. This is a good one to start off with. Unfortunately, not a great one this week, but still worth a try if you haven't picked it up in a while, and maybe just run into some Crucible. Maybe not Iron Banner's not here, but maybe not Trials of Osiris right off the bat, because Trials is a little bit different than normal Crucible, but just give it a try, see if you like it. We have a Jade Rabbit again, which is also good in PvP, as if you do playing one of those no shield playlists that we haven't had in a while, unfortunately. This can one-tap to the head, but it's also a really good range weapon, and I believe 3 shots, if you hit 2 body shots and a headshot, or 2 headshots and a body shot, will also give you a kill in normal Crucible, so also worth picking up. We have a Hard Light with ricochet rounds and its unique ability to switch its fundamentals. So you can have both Arc, Solar, or all 3, Arc, Solar, and Void, not both, on this particular weapon. So it's a unique weapon to have if you are just trying to figure out what to use in a particular maybe PvE focused activity, or because of its ricochet rounds, it's not bad in PvP. It used to be very meta at one point. And then we have the Colony, which is a good weapon to pick up if you don't have it for one reason. This is one of those weapons that tends to glitch out a lot of activities quite a bit because of the way it does damage. It fires these nanite grenades that essentially track to a target, but you're basically just shooting out these insectoid robots. But occasionally there is an activity where a enemy might have a shield that can't be shot through or brought down unless you have a particular buff. So in like Vault of Glass, there's the Templar encounter, which is right before the final boss encounter. That is not the Templar encounter, I'm sorry, the Gatekeeper encounter, excuse me. But there's a part where you have to kill some Minotaurs that have shields on them that requires a buff to actually take down. There was a point in time where this weapon, if you just muzzle stuffed the Minotaurs, would still do damage to the shields. And there's been other things like that, several over the past years. So it's always worth having just in your arsenal for the odd occasion where, unfortunately, those things were patched, but it does another break. Usually in raids, it seems to break things quite a bit. For legendary weapons this week, we have a True Prophecy with Overload and Time Payload. I actually really like this weapon with Time Payload. Time Payload is one of those perks that does really well in PvP if you don't play with, or don't play Crucible that often, or don't play with hand cannons that often. It's one of those ones that actually does really good, and because this is a very high damage per round weapon, even though it's very slow, it's a good thing because it makes that 120 RPM, which probably isn't the meta at the moment, essentially do that extra half step damage in between your shots. So it really doesn't behave like a 120 hand cannon. And because it hits so hard, you actually see the dividends of the actual time payload damage. We have Escape Velocity with Overflow and Surrounded. We have the Pleiades Corrector with Genesis and Eye of the Storm. We have an Annual Skate with Slide Shot and Dragonfly. Canis Major with Clown Cartridge and Vorpal Weapon, might not be bad. And Thin Precept with Steady Hands, Adrenaline Junkie, and the Unsatiated Hunger Origin trait. This is also a craftable sword. And then for the Warlocks, we have an Eternity's Edge with Infinite Guard and Tireless Blade. Remember that you can use this sword on any class, as well as the ones that are only available on the classes of Hunter and Titan, but you have to pick them up on that class. But you can equip them now to any class. So even though this is only available to be bought on a Warlock, you can still use it on a Titan or a Hunter. Legendary Armor is glitched this week. Don't know what's going on again, but we have the rare armor glitch where everything that's supposed to drop in the at lowest 60 is now dropping in the mid 50s. Lowest is 50. That's really bad, but we have the Veiled armor set this week. So pick that up if you're looking for any ornaments. And that is going to be it for XUR information today. So hopefully you found something in that information helpful. And remember, if I mispronounced anything, you can also leave that down below, of course. That'll also give you another entry into the next giveaway. We'll now head up to the rest of our favorite vendors. We'll stop off at Banshee 44, Commander Zavala, and, of course, Saint 14. Banshee actually had, in my opinion, much better legendary weapons this week. We had the Hollow Words with Lead from Gold, Unrelenting, the Enigma, which can be crafted, but you need to own Witch Queen, which is probably why I can't see why it's crafted, because I don't own Witch Queen on my PC. I play primarily on consoles. So that's why it is not available as a crafted weapon for me, or why I can't see it. It's very interesting that Witch Queen is sort of the only standout of all the different DLCs that I own. It's the only one that doesn't translate from my console to PC, but it is craftable. This one with Grave Robber Unrelenting is not terrible, but you can craft a better one. And remember, these rolls do change. I don't think it's every day, but maybe bi-daily, so worth checking out. We have a Taipan 4FR with Clown Cartridge, Firing Line, and Vice Stinger. This is a GODROLL weapon. Even though it can't be crafted and it's not enhanceable, it's still incredibly good, so pick it up if you don't have it. We have a Mikado 45 with Triple Tap, Golden Tricorn. This is a fully enhanceable weapon out of the box, so that's a great thing, though I would wait for a different roll. There was one available earlier this week that had hatchlings. If you can get enhanced hatchlings on this weapon from Banshee 44, that's an amazing deal, so definitely look out for that. If you can see one with slice hatchlings, that is the 100% God roll. That's actually the roll that I have myself, so worth checking every single day just because it is an enhanceable weapon. We have a Bad Omens with Snapshot Sight and Quick Draw, and then we have a Path of Least Resistance, which can be crafted, this one with Triple Tap, One for All, and the Ambush. I don't think that's an origin trait, but Ambush. Now over at Commander Zavala this week, we actually did have another decent weapon available, and it is the Warden of Nothing Strike again, so very easy to farm out if you don't have a Scintillation Adept. Give the Warden of Nothing a try on the GM difficulty. It's one of the easier GMs, and get this in the Adept form. This is a great weapon for DPS, specifically for raid bosses and things like that. You can also get a Crew Mercy Adept at the same time if you can complete the GM Nightfall with a Platinum score. Warden of Nothing is a really easy one. I can't reiterate it enough to farm out, so definitely jump in. And even if you're just farming the normal Nightfall, it's going to be really good loot. Over at Eververse this week, we had a really good and very unique shader available. I did talk about this in a previous video, the Necrostatic. This is a actual animated shader, and very rarely do these come around. So There is another animated shader that you can get, I believe, just from the Bungie store at the moment for free. But I'll make another video about that. I don't know the exact details of how to get it, but there is another animated shader that's very cool. It actually changes color. So if you'd be interested in knowing how to get that, let me know in the comments section down below. I'll make sure to make another video about that specifically. But you can pick this one up, at least until Tuesday's reset. And then down on our main Bright Dust page, we had the Overgrown ornament available for the Outbreak Perfected. And I did talk about this also, but looks like we're going to be going back to the Plague Lands. So a bit of Siva lore being unretconned. I never really thought it was retconned, but a lot of people did. But from Season of Iron? The Iron Lord season? I can't remember. From way back in D1. Now I can't remember the name of it. Let me know the name in the comment section down below. But any veteran players, I know what you're talking. Rise of Iron. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. The Rise of Iron season. We're going to be getting some Siva back. I always liked that season. It was one of my favorites. So it'll be good to see a little bit of Siva lore back in the game once again. Down at Saint 14, we have double rewards again this week. So if you played it all last week, you might have noticed that the Inquisitor Adept is available, as well as an actual featured weapon as per the usual. This week we have yesterday's Question hand cannon, which is good for PvP and PvE in my opinion. I like it for both. And the Inquisitor, which is really a PvP focused weapon, but certainly good to farm out both with the Lighthouse passage. All you need is a Lighthouse passage. Remember, all you need to do then is get 7 wins, and you can get both of those weapons. I believe to get the Adept forms, though, you do need to go on a 7-win streak. A couple of other things of note this week. Remember, we have the second week of Ghost of the Deep in Rite of the Nine, and you can still farm out the second encounter for all the holofoil and Adept weapons. All you need to do is make sure, if you're looking for any of the holofoil or Adepts, to play it on the ultimatum difficulty. But then all that's required is really getting through the first encounter, and once you get to the second and a half encounter, the first and 1/2 encounter, it's not really a full encounter. It was something that was added specifically for Rite of the Nine. You just have to kill this Lucient Hive. You'll get a chest, you can jump off the ledge, and it will reset you just before a small jumping puzzle, right before you fight that boss. And you can do that run over and over and over again for that secret chest and get all the weapons you would ever really want. You'll also get the currency for the actual event. Now you can do it on both the Eternity and Ultimatum difficulty, but if you really want the best results, the Ultimatum difficulty is the best one to farm. And can be done solo, so, you know, all you have to do is get past that first encounter, and this is sort of a half step between the first and second encounter. I'll show you exactly where it is at the end if you'd like, but then you can just, you know, load back in over and over again. Also, Trials this week is Widow's Court, so good luck in there. It's a very dynamic map. I think it's kind of plays to all different sort of games types or game styles, so sniping is going to be good, but I also think some close range will do okay in that particular map. And that is going to conclude all the information in today's video. Hopefully you found something in this video helpful. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I will just load up this particular checkpoint just so you can see exactly where you'll, once you loot the chest and jump off the edge and reload in or get reset to the last checkpoint, where exactly you'll be reset to. I did show this in previous videos, but again, thank you all for the support on the channel as of late. If you've watched till this point in the video, you can also leave a hashtag XUR or hashtag Trials of Osiris or hashtag Rite of the Nine or a hashtag Year of Prophecy or hashtag The Edge of Fate or hashtag Renegades or hashtag Tinnitus Bat or hashtag SSJ Scoot in the comment section down below. Or if you are looking for this particular checkpoint, my buddy Lord Sinister might actually also be doing a live stream at some point over the course of the weekend. You can leave a hashtag Sinister in the comment section down below. for another entry into the next giveaway. Any of those things I just mentioned will give you another entry into the next giveaway, and he will set you up with the checkpoint so you can do this farm yourself if you'd like. Possibly be running some people even through the farm if he's being really generous. Oh, and of course, I am on the final boss. It's actually not the correct checkpoint, so apologies for that, but we will be doing possibly some runs over the weekend. I'm sure most people can figure out exactly where we were if you've seen my previous video. If not, you can go back and check my last video. I'll have all the information for you. And that's going to conclude all the information today, finally. And once more, I'm Wilhelm Scream. Hopefully everybody has a great weekend, and of course, we will see you next time. Little